It's been said a bard's life can often be a hard life, or hill and jail to rove and always move from town to town. And some folk have inquired if ever we grow tired of ranging all around the world and never settling down.
But one should be a little wary of remaining stationary. This comfortable is lovely, but it's not the way we grow. When life starts to unravel, pick up your pack and travel. You'll find a strange serenity in places you don't know. Wriggle-dee-dum-dee-doo-da-terry-o-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before. Adventures waiting further down the road. It's waiting for you further down the road. You've got no map for showing which direction you are going.
But why start on a journey if you know where it will end?
And once you recognize,
to anticipate surprise, you'll relish every twist and turn that lies around the bend. Wriggle-dee-dum-dee-doo-da-terry-o-dee-da-dee-da-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before. Adventures waiting further down the road. It's waiting for you further down the road.
The world has got its demons. There are many reasons why you'd find it harder to be brave than be afraid.
But every life could use some danger. Every friend was once a stranger. Ships are safe in harbor, but that's not why ships are made.
Wriggle-dee-dum-dee-doo-da-terry-o-dee-da-dee. A fwit-dee-dee-dee-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before. Adventures waiting further down the road. It's waiting for you further down the road. Adventures waiting further down the road.
Let's go!
They have 100% hired the correct staff for this job.
You may all call me Doctor.
I am Myrtleline, the grunt repair. I'm a repair guy. But if you have anything that needs to be like broken and then fixed again,
And I am Bigor. Previous experience involves being a test subject for Mr. Dr. Pepper.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to Nat 21 Adventures. Wednesday night, we're doing Goblonia. That's my game. I'm Robert Turk, author, game designer. Got a weird buzz in my ear with these headphones. We'll see if that works or not. Yeah, welcome back. We took last week off after a wildly successful Kickstarter. The game's happening. For those of you that are joining us for the first time or may have forgotten, you can actually download a free copy the quick and dirty version, the player's guide, if you will, of the game we're playing tonight at that website right there, www.wicked-clever.com/Goblonia. So this is a game set in the city of Goblonia about goblins who are all members of GITS, and they're going on missions to stick it to the fairy overlord Titania. Thus far, we have had a lot of crazy hijinks stuff happening. They were hired to haunt a tomb for an evening and ended up making not so much friends with Phineas Flout, who was a goblin that was trying to improve his station in Goblonia. Did not go over well at all. And their next mission, they were hired to ruin his life even more. And somehow ended up creating an opera that sang about all of that, got him on stage with his trollish lover, and a cheese monster came in there at the end and trashed the place. So that's kind of where we were. Couple of things to know. Nat 21 is an audience participation stream. You can spend your channel points. They're called saintly points in this Twitch stream. Down at the bottom there, you can spend them for a couple different things. I'm going to go over those really quickly so you know how to participate. All right. You can spend points. Hang on. Let me get rid of that thing. You can spend points to give me a card, essentially. This game, it runs on playing cards, not on dice. And if you give me a card, that makes it harder for the players. You can spend points on Here You Dropped This, which gives the player that you name an item that you want them to have. And you only get to use that once because we got overloaded with items. So we're cutting back on that. And then lastly, whoops, not that one. You can let a player discard one of their cards and draw a new one to replace it. So those are the channel points. When you click down there on Saintly Points, you can see how they all break down. Ick the Troll, thank you for that. Ick the Troll subscribed, 6-month subscription. Awesome. Thank you very much. Now, we know that it's standard on Twitch to shout out and say thank you for the people that subscribe and follow and all of that. Our moderator, Reverend Tommy, is keeping track of those, and we'll actually say a big thank you at the end, because once we start playing the game, we can pop up your comments on there, and this is interaction, this is live. We'll respond back, but we're going to keep the game rolling. So we're not going to talk to every comment. We're not going to, I'm sorry, Troll King, not just Ick the Troll. It's Ick the Troll King. So there we go. That's not everything I have to say. I need to give everyone a warning tonight that I have started a test medication until tomorrow for 10 days to fix some internal issues. And the good news is that the medication is working very well. The bad news is that it has some side effects, which are, in about 30 minutes from now, my eyes are going to go blurry and I will have a very hard time reading what's going on the screen. It also will make it very hard for me to focus and think through things. We're going to keep the stream going. I'm just going to let the players run a little more wild, probably. So there you go. That's going to happen. So if everybody's like, holy crap, did Robert just have a stroke? What's going on? No, the medicine just kicked in. That's all. It's all good. I have to take it through tomorrow, and then we're going to look for something else, because being an author, not being able to see what I'm writing on the screen, it's not so great. All right, here is our cast. Obviously, I'm running the game tonight. I designed the game. This is my game. But we've got some new faces. Our returning face. We have May Hemmer playing Voss, the Goon. How you doing, May?
Hi. Oh, wait. Hi. Am I May or am I Voss? Because I need to tone it down.
You're Voss.
Oh.
You're Voss.
Hi.
With your stabby thing. We have the incredible Cubby playing Dr. Pibb, the Smarty Pants.
So sorry about that. I'm, of course, the sadly unaccredited Mr. Dr. Pibb, but I don't stand on formality. You may all call me Doctor.
There you go.
And I'm a big fan of science.
A huge fan of science. And last but not least, we have Hollywood superstar Shoshana Ruth Green playing test subject and kook Bigor.
Hello.
How you doing, Shoshi?
Hello, I'm Bigor. Happy to see all your shining chat messages there in front of me. Just love to bask in the glow of my audience. I assure you, I have not let the success of my opera go to my head at all.
Right, because you became an opera star during our last mission.
Please,
yes, you did.
The correct term is diva.
Opera diva. All right, there we go. We've got no kings on the board starting out the new mission. And just to do a real quick bit of housekeeping, because I forgot to check the sheets. At this point, no one should have any damage to their Vim and Vigor. Everyone should have 3 squibs to spend.
Oh, I do?
Yep, everybody starts with 3 squibs to spend. Nobody gets any bonuses from having a higher thrall. Bigor and Dr. Pibb leveled up after that last mission. Leveled up, we call it milestones. Do you want to tell people what you took, or do you just want it to be a surprise?
Oh, I want to tell the people.
Okay, go ahead. You can tell the people what you took as your milestone.
I subscribe to the Hitchcock idea about you can't have suspense if people don't know what's going on. So I just like to put it all out there.
All right, go for it.
Yes. So you all know about my ability to transform into a ring of keys. But now I can also, if I choose it at the beginning of a mission, transform into any other shape that I want, provided that shape gives me a +1 bonus to a specific task.
Yes. You can change into other tools besides Ring of Keys.
Yes. I've expanded my toolery.
Your toolery, yes.
I'm very excited.
A question from the stream real quick, just so I understand this correctly. His first name is Doctor.
I don't see why this causes confusion.
Right.
But
you're
yes, I'm Dr. Pibb, Mr. Dr. Pibb, and my arch enemy is Mr. Pepper. The terrible Dr. Mr. Pepper.
Dr. Mr. Pepper, yes.
Yes, I don't just give him the title and the last name. If I am forced to say doctor in regards to the infamous Pepper, then I shall only refer to him as Dr. Mr. Pepper. Truly the opposite of me, Mr. Dr. Pibb.
Uh-oh, hang on.
And
something just happened.
Oh, no. Oh!
Did we...
Hold on.
Did we come back?
We're back.
All right. Yeah. I think that's something entirely on Twitch's end. That was weird because it kept going here on StreamYard for us. So, all right. Dr. Mr. Pibb, Mr. Doctor, what milestone did you end up taking? What have you done?
Well, we use words for so many things. To entertain, to inform, to communicate. But now I, the incomparable Dr. Pibb, can use words to do one more thing. Inflict damage upon my enemies, like little bits of science that will explode in their brains, causing damage.
But it hurts them.
It does.
Yes, it hurts.
It does.
Okay.
So I now have the core ability of biting words.
Yep. All right. And it has been a while since we have seen Voss in Goblonia. Voss, can you sum up who and what your character is in like 3 words?
Murderous pink pixie of doom. Wait, 3 words. Hold on, I got this.
Pink murder pixie?
No, not a pixie.
Okay,
That's
sorry.
what this is on my face. Murderous pink goblin.
Yeah. I yes, that works. I like David Percival's stabby stab goblin. All right. So, new mission. The opera was a success. The giant cheese monster that was created through mad science and culinary arts ended up ripping the top of the opera house off, grabbing Phineas Flout, and storming off into the sunset.
It was regarded as the most exciting finale of any opera ever, is what they're saying.
Yes.
Unfortunately,
Absolutely.
it can only do it's one show only.
Yeah, because the opera house was ruined after that.
Better than Don Juan. A statue takes a fellow to hell in that one.
Yes, but
Well,
in
that's-
ours.
Nice.
The cheese monster.
That is
All right.
a huge improvement over statue.
I think so. There was a statue of Titania vomiting. That was on display. It is no longer on display. It has been discreetly removed in the middle of the night. And a note left behind. There was never a statue here. Carry on. And over the next couple of days, the newspapers and the news criers on the street corner, the news of the opera starts to die down. I mean, it's not the hottest thing in Goblonia anymore, and some suspicious stories start being told of how the cheese monster took Phineas Flout out to the battlefield south of the city, was thoroughly blasted with cannons and run through with swords and had explosives lobbed at it. And the cheese monster was unfortunately destroyed, or fortunately for the people of Goblonia. And Phineas Flout is nowhere to be found. He probably fled in shame and embarrassment. And then there start to be stories of smaller cheese-like creatures that are causing havoc.
Adorable.
That depends. Like, do we consider, say, the Jawas from Star Wars to be adorable?
So I can stab them. Are they stabbable?
You'll have to find out.
Let's go.
Yes, exactly. Thank you, Ick the Troll King. And the papers are starting to call them the Cheez-Its. That's wonderful. We're stealing that. No royalties forthcoming. And the Cheez-Its, smaller cheese creatures, curds, if you will. Absolutely. Oh crap! I forgot. You all are into the cheese puns, so here we go.
And the guns. Are they Gouda cheese monsters?
So they are causing problems. Goblins have been snatched off of the street and dragged back into the shadows by cheese monsters. Right. Okay, totally new mission. Let me randomly generate a new one for you. No.
Okay, I can do it.
Cheese monsters.
Robert, when the medicine kicks in, we are just gonna do cheese puns with the audience.
Yep.
that might be. That might be. So, yes. You all get a normally your messages come via rat. Like a rat with a tube on its back comes in, you pull the message out of the tube and read it, and it's never the complete thing, and you got to wait for the next one to come. This time, you hear a thwunk on the door to your clubhouse. And yes, that's yes.
Science.
That's science. That is sharp. That's
What?
that
Something
is.
exploded?
No, nothing exploded. You open your door.
Flavor in my mouth from the cheese.
Yes, yes.
I can't.
And there is a silver dagger pinning a edict from Titania to your door.
I'm taking the dagger.
I figured. All right. And what the edict says is it has come to our attention that you are the party responsible for creating cheese monsters and letting them loose in the city.
I would just like to clarify that I was nowhere near around, and do not worry about the dust on my face, because it may or may not have been pixies that were murdered by a vendor that I went and shopping in. So no, I was not there creating cheese monsters. I was there getting dead pixies for my face.
Yeah, it's just a letter. I mean, you could tell that to it all you want, but nobody's listening.
No, I'm literally
I
talking to it.
I believe there was expertly crafted evidence that Dr. Mr. Pepper was responsible for the cheese monstrosity. Probably should take away that doctorate from him.
Are you telling that to the letter too? I don't
You know
think it's gonna
what?
come back. I'm just gonna,
Now that you mention it, there was evidence that he was responsible for it. So we'll scratch that part from the letter. It has come to our attention that you are the best goblins to deal with our current cheese crisis.
That's better. But I'm still taking it back.
You have 3 days to resolve this problem in exchange for payment.
I have a question. Mr. Dr. Pibb, 3 days. Usually you can only get a really good answer at somebody after a good day and a half of torturing. So do we really have 3 days? Three? Really 3? Only 3 days?
And the letter finishes with, otherwise, we shall feed you to the monsters and see if that solves the problem. In Her Majesty's name, the great, glorious, and wonderful,
Oh, we're
but
paused
never
again.
wise.
Hold on, we're paused again.
Titania.
Hold on. We're Twitch is tweaking
we
out
pause
again.
again?
Hold on.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, Twitch is flipping
Yeah.
out. Hold on a second. It's
Twitch
not
is
us.
flipping out.
Yeah, because we're live.
You have
so,
to, yep.
Hold on.
All right.
Wow, crazy.
Oh, okay, we're back.
Matt
back.
swiping
We're
in
back?
with the perfect response, though.
Ah,
Yep.
Okay, it's back. All right.
All right. I'm
All right.
still seeing spinning, so.
Yeah, you
all
have to
right.
reload it, but it's good now.
Yep.
It's good now.
Yeah. Okay. So that's where we're at. Quick recap. The crew has been ordered by Titania to deal with this cheese monster problem within the next 3 days, or their lives will be forfeit. That's the gist of it.
All right, we're gonna get boring.
Dr. Mr. Pepper. Nope. Never mind.
Yep.
You wouldn't know that. That would not have been advertised. So, like all missions in Goblonia, we start with a free round of scheming. So, right now you know very little. So doing some investigative work would not be amiss, but you all can do whatever you want.
You know what? I'm gonna let y'all go. Oh my God, this is gonna kill me today. I'm so sorry.
I can't help but notice that cheese melts at a considerably lower temperature than goblins melt.
This is true.
You know, if we just heated the city sufficiently. Talk.
Let me check what.
Oh,
now I will point out that and I'll point out to our audience. There's actually a chart in the core rules to randomly determine the weather in Goblonia because it changes frequently. It doesn't follow a cycle, a seasonal cycle. And as it turns out, it is snowing outside. So.
Oh, great.
Yeah. So it's not a sweltering day that this problem is just going to go away.
I was thinking more of setting the city on fire, but that would have been nice as well.
Right. So.
I do have a thing I would go do.
Okay.
She's just gonna disappear while they're doing whatever it is they're doing, as she does. And she's going to go see her ally, if possible, her ex-husband.
Yeah. Okay.
And seek his guidance on the best kind of cheese monster killing weapons that I could possibly swindle out of him, as he is a weaponsmith.
All right. I need you to test first for an entanglement since you're going to the Grand Market where he is.
Oh, God. Okay.
So flip over the top card of your deck.
Okay.
And all we're doing is comparing the colors.
Okay.
All right. Nothing happens. You are free to go about your mission, meeting with your ally in the Grand Market. And you specifically are wanting a weapon that works well against cheese monsters?
Yes.
So yes, that's exactly what he's gonna suggest. That's what I was going for.
Please don't, because I will RP the hell out of him telling me that.
I mean, yeah, that's wait. Somebody just gave Was an item.
Oh.
Extra sharp fondue forks.
Okay.
All right. We are going to have you make a test here, though, because you did use your scheming scene for this.
Okay.
To see if he can give you any other information.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. You are going to get some extra sharp fondue forks. That's a given.
Okay.
He has those. And actually... he thinks they were originally yours anyway, and somehow got left at his place from the one time you all attempted fondue, and burned the entire house down.
Is that what we're calling it? Fondue now?
Fondue, evidently.
Okay. All right. What?
Evidently. And he might have some other information for you. Because he also does suggest, I mean, just a cheese grater. So you are going to, he's a rank 2 ally. You're going to draw 2 cards. Okay. And because he is a weaponsmith and you're talking about how to kill these things, you get a bonus card.
Okay.
Right? You have to beat a single 7.
I have to beat a single 7. It's been a long time since I played this. But how about 2 2s and a 4?
2 2s and a 4 does it. A pair of 2s beats a single card. So there you go. He tells you that, I mean, he gives you the fondue forks. He jokingly suggests you use a cheese grater, but he also says he knows that the attacks have been more frequent on the veranda, which is where the opera was, which is sort of the nightclub part of Goblonia, across the city from the Grand Market. So he suggests that maybe that's a place to start if you're going to be killing cheese monsters, because those are his clients too. And
Call me. I won't steal anymore. Just call me. I won't steal anymore. I thought it was
all right. So, anybody else have a scheme they want to enact?
Yes.
Yes.
I having overheard Dr. Pibb's plan about heating up the cheese monster, I would like to go to my contact, the Goblin Opera House owner, for a couple purposes. One, I would like to, I would like to hear the congratulations for my successful show, and also, see how they're doing with the whole roof situation.
Oh, because the roof was torn off. Yes.
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 Just, I should pay a visit to her and just check in and see how she's doing.
Okay. So this kind of sounds like you are trying to increase your influence there.
Yeah, that sounds, sure. Yes.
I mean, I didn't hear any other thing in there that could benefit you. So.
Yes, that is correct. That is kind of what I'd like to do. And then I'll also get information, because I'm sure we're going to talk about things, but.
All right. Yeah. So it sounds like increasing your influence there, just hanging out and talking, probably Weedle. Like reminding them, hey, this wasn't our fault. You know that even though it was sort of part of the opera, this was totally somebody else.
Is she upset?
That her opera house is now an outdoor amphitheater. She's not thrilled about it.
Well, I mean, I do try and explain it to her artistically.
Right.
It was really the only choice possible.
Yes.
Given the nature of the opera.
Yeah.
People will be talking about it for years to come.
Right. And she could always do a fundraiser for a new roof.
Well, I'm so glad you brought that up, because dear Trudy, I happen to have some inside information that perhaps this area might be covered in molten cheese pretty soon. Do you get my drift? You don't. I'll go on. So what I was thinking is we get a massive pot of macaroni. A real sort of strangadona situation there. And then when all the melted cheese falls right into the huge pot of macaroni, we sell off the macaroni and cheese to the public and raise enough money to rebuild the roof. What do you think?
I think we're going to test on that one.
Flaws.
Yeah, no. The good news is, so looking at your Weedle, you have one card there. And, well, nothing else really helps you here, does it?
No.
No. All right. Well, they only have one card.
She is already my ally. Do I get to use her as ally?
I'll give it to you, yes. So you can use those ally points as well. So 3 cards to beat a 4.
Excellent. All right. It's time. Make sure I didn't give me. Oh, good. Okay. Give me 1 second. I thought for a sec I had accidentally shuffled in the instruction cards, but I hadn't. All right. A queen, a 2, and a jack. Oh dear. That's not good.
That's terrible.
Yeah. That's very bad.
That's very bad.
Yes.
So if anybody in the audience wants to toss some points to let you throw one of those away, you can also spend one of your squibs to draw another card that would bump one of those out.
I'm going to do that. I'm gonna spend a squib, and the card that I draw is, that's slightly more helpful. And I can drop I should drop the queen, right? Or the jack.
The queen would increase your thrall by 1. The jack is going to cause an injury.
You know what? I'll take an injury. They're fun.
Okay. All right. So you do succeed because you got a 6 in there, right?
I did.
All right. So a 6 and an injury. You are gaining influence in the veranda. But what happens here that causes damage?
Yes. So.
And it can be mental or emotional damage. It does not have to be physical.
It's going to be.
Vigor has a whoops.
Vigor has a whoopsie.
Oh, somebody gave you a whoops. All right. So if you want to toss that jack and draw a card to replace it, you can.
I do. And the card I draw is. So now I have double 6s.
Well, there you go. You don't have to take an injury.
Extremely successful.
Yes.
Extremely successful.
And I am going to say, all right, so yeah, you've smoothed things over with the Opera House, right? They like this idea of getting a lot of macaroni and selling bowls of macaroni with the promise that the cheese is coming. But on your way back from the Opera House, you notice footprints in the snow that when you get Cheeto dust on something on your fingers or on your books.
I know it well.
Yeah, so these footprints have Cheeto dust in them, cheese dust in them, leading into the shadows on the 2nd level of Goblonia.
Interesting. Possibly relevant.
Possibly relevant. Dr. Pibb.
Where you see only one set of footsteps is where Jesus carried you.
Oh.
Yes.
I can't.
Wow.
All right.
The
Dr.
dad
Pibb?
jokes keep on coming. The dad jokes just keep on coming.
So something I should have asked before now is, with my alchemy ability, I can decide on a specific potion I have for each. Am I supposed to choose that before we find out about the adventure, or am I able to tailor it to kind of suit the needs?
You're supposed to choose it before you find out about the adventure, but yeah, that's you can do it now.
Okay.
Because
I do have a great idea of something that should help us a lot. You've heard of appetite suppressants. Well, this is an appetite impressant.
Yes.
It increases one's appetite to truly ridiculous proportions. It does have some side effects. A general sense of well-being and calmness, glazing of the eyes, dilation of the pupils, and an appreciation for obscure music. Especially music that takes a long time to really get anywhere. It uses green technology though, so that's good.
Oh.
Yeah, that could be it. It's just
no. This is super weed.
Right. It's a potion. It's the oil. It's green. Thank you, Mab. Green technology. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
This is way more powerful than your paltry human weed. Now, did that take a scheming session, or
no? That's just you setting up your potion at the beginning. And the Troll King gave Bigor a fake talisman to the great cheese god Tillamook.
Ooh. Putting that around my neck.
Why did it have to be a fake talisman? Why couldn't it have actually just been
Right?
a talisman to Tillamook?
Yeah, but no, this one's fake. This one's not legit.
Like you're gonna call on Tillamook and it's gonna be like not with that crappy knockoff. No.
Right.
It's gonna be Velveeta.
Yeah. It's one. Yeah, it's one. it's actually a Velveeta talisman. All right. So, Dr. Pibb, you need a scheming scene.
Yes, I would like to go egghead because
Okay.
I've been thinking, what's the opposite of cheese?
I don't know.
Crackers, obviously, but that doesn't help tactically. So,
Right?
if we go for cheese's natural enemy, the mouse, mice can help us. What do you get when you cross a mouse with a mouse? A rat. So I am going to invent basically a musical instrument that can control the minds of rats.
I've read this story.
It goes really well.
It works out.
The instrument.
It works out really well for everyone.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So you are, because you don't actually have to create a piece of technology. You can leave it just in a theory if you want that rats are the natural enemy to cheese. But if you can take it all the way. You can make that bit of technology that controls the minds of rats.
I want to control legions of rats.
Okay. All right. Spend a squib. There's no test. You do it. And it's a thing that's done. Now, anybody in your crew can use this instrument. Obviously, you've got it to start with, but anybody can use it to gain a +2 bonus on, I guess, trying to control the minds of rats. And incite them to devouring cheese. Yeah. All right. That's one round of scheming down. If you have other schemes you want to do, you all at this point have a musical instrument that helps control the minds of rats. You have some cheese forks and some clues that are leading you to the veranda and to the shadows to find these cheese monsters.
I would like to do one more scheming round if everyone else would as well.
I feel like I've already spent too much time planning, but all right.
You can absolutely, if you've got another scheming round in you can do it.
Well, after my meeting, I will rush back to the laboratory. Dr. Pibb.
Yes.
Do you recall how earlier today you were talking about how cheese has a certain melting point?
Yes. I was theorizing that we could set the city on fire and it would be, well, not safe for the goblins. It would be safer for the goblins than the cheese.
What could you conceive of some sort of device that instead of just setting the whole city on fire, it would set just the cheese monster on fire and just enough that it would melt nicely into a big vat of macaroni?
Like a flamethrower?
That would work.
I mean, flamethrowers are a thing. I thought about reinventing one, like maybe one that automatically makes cheese explode, but then I was like, I could have a horde of rats. We could have just rats everywhere.
Oh.
Yeah, and rats are already pretty common in Goblonia. But yes, so Bigor, do you want to use this scheming scene to acquire a flamethrower?
Well, I think I realize that Dr. Pibb is right, and I happen to know someone who knows about weapons. So I'm going to go to how do you pronounce was?
Was.
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 I need a flamethrower.
You should have told me that before I went to go see my ex-husband. He gave me fondue forks.
Oh, that's actually really useful. And I'll tell you why. So, I would like to melt down the cheese monster. I've organized with the opera. They have a huge vat of macaroni. But you know what? We should get a whole bunch of stale bread, too.
Question. That's great. Do you know where to find cheese to melt down to make macaroni and cheese with your stale crackers?
I'm fairly certain a whole bunch of cheese is going to show up all by itself at the opera house.
Cool. Yeah. So, according to my ex-husband, apparently most of the attacks have been on the veranda, which is probably where your little performance was. So that is probably technically, definitely where we want to start.
Oh, thank you. Would you know how I could obtain a flamethrower?
I could probably go and ask again nicely if I smile at him and promise not to steal his stuff anymore.
Oh, that sounds like a large sacrifice on your part.
No, it's fine. I can go see him again. I'm sure I can sweet talk him into it. The power of my witty charms.
Then yes, please. Is there any way I can assist you in this?
Mechanically, no. Because teamwork is not a thing. Teamwork is not a thing. I think our stream might have dropped again.
Hold please. It's hold on. Let me refresh on my side.
Yeah,
it is still the circle. It is the circle of death still. The circle of death is still gone. And we're back. And it's gone.
Oh no.
I don't know. For the Twitch is not being happy with us tonight.
And we're back.
Okay. All right. Well, we're gonna just keep talking and doing, and I apologize for whatever's going on with Twitch chopping up the stream like this. So it seems that if you refresh your screen, maybe that helps. Maybe it's just something with the internet, because on my screen Shoshi is totally frozen and has been that way for like 30 minutes. But she's moving on the Twitch stream and we can hear her. So clearly that's just on my end. All right. So
sometimes Shoshi just does that.
Yeah, so she just stands perfectly still.
I scare people. They come around corners and they think I'm a mannequin.
I see my name.
Somebody is voting for you to do the end of the show shout out. That's what that is. I forgot to mention that one. If you vote for somebody, that's the person that you want to do a confession or whatever at the very end of the show. That's the person that's going to say goodbye and tell you what they think about whatever they want. So yeah. Right. So it sounds like Shoshi's scheme was actually just coordinating all of this stuff and planning and getting people to go find a flamethrower. So Voss is that back you go. All right, back to the Grand Market. So we do have to test for an entanglement because you have enemies there.
Oh, Lord.
So you flip the top card of your deck over, and we're just looking at the colors.
I'm scared to do it. Can I
Well,
pray I pray to Jesus first? Can I pray to Jesus? Can I
You
pray
can
to
absolutely pray to Jesus all you want.
Dear Gouda. Okay.
All right, you're totally fine. For some reason, your enemy up there, Dr. Mr. Pepper, isn't taking notice of what's going on. All right, so you're gonna go back to your contact and ask for a flamethrower?
Yep, after I pick up my cards that just fell down from my deck and reshuffle like a good little girl. Yes.
All right. So asking for a flamethrower after he's already given you information and the cheese forks and suggested a grater and your past history of destruction and whatnot, this one's a little more difficult.
Tomato.
Yep. So you have to beat a 10.
Okay, so how many do I need to pull?
He's a rank 2 ally, and
Okay.
weapons are his thing, so you get 3 cards.
Okay, and question because so face cards are bad.
Face cards are bad.
Okay. Okay, face cards are bad. Okay. 1, 2, 3. What's an ace?
An ace is a 1. But you've got it because your 10 matches my 10 and your 4 beats that too.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, you got it. Yeah. That was surprisingly stressful for a success.
Yeah.
He just so happens to have an older flamethrower laying around. And it's a Goblonian flamethrower, so it's not like a military grade, flamethrower. It's essentially
Rigged. It's rigged up.
Right. It's like a super soaker full of flammable oil and a candle up on the end. So you shoot it through, sets fire to the oil and sprays it out. But you've got
tomato. It does the same thing.
You got a flamethrower.
Cool.
So there you go.
So I make my
Dr.
way back.
Pip. Yeah. With a flamethrower. Dr. Pibb, you have a scheming scene if you want it. If you don't, you can declare that you all are moving forward, which you get a squib and nobody else is allowed to scheme.
Well, that seems rude of me. Is there any way for me to get a squib in a scheming scene?
If you get a big damn success, which has not happened on the stream, it has happened in one playtest game. Essentially, you have to get a 4 of a kind. Or you do a test and you choose to fail first, and then you get a squib that way. But you will have failed a test, so...
I just can't think of anything that needs doing. Everyone else...
Then it's totally fair to declare, you know what, we're done with scheming. Everything we wanted to do is done. I'm calling it here, and we're heading to wherever you're heading.
Well, as a man of science, I've always felt that all thought was overrated and action speaks louder than words. So I say we go explode some cheese.
All right. Well, there you go. Heading to the veranda. You do get to take a squib, and we move the game onto the veranda. Let me just double check. You do not have any enemies in the veranda. All right. So what time of day are you all setting out?
Question.
Yeah.
Would X-Bay would have told me what time of day, or did he just say it was majority in the veranda?
So I think you can, without doing a scheming scene, you can find out from the papers and whatnot that most of the kidnappings by cheese monsters have happened at night.
Then let's leave at dusk.
Yeah.
And plant the trap to stab.
Yes. Sir David Curdley Moe lives in the tombs. And here, actually, I have a map of Goblonia. I'll put that up there. So, that's the wrong level. That's the bottom level. Here's the next level up. This is not the map that's going to appear in the book. That is being redrawn by hand from scratch. So this is where they are going, is over to the veranda here. And their clubhouse is down here on the... Where is your clubhouse, actually?
Paperwork says...
In the Narrows.
It's
in the Narrows. So their clubhouse is down in there in the middle of the Narrows. Curdley Moe is up there in the tombs. They're going to head up through a checkpoint and go to the veranda. because you all have been charged on an official mission by the occupation, nobody's going to try and stop you and check your papers. I mean, they do, because that's their job. The hobgoblins, which is the city guard manning the checkpoints, does say, hey, where are you going? It's starting to get nighttime. And all you got to do is flash that notice that says, hey, we're working for Titania. And they let you right through. So, and there you are.
Hold on to this notice.
You got to hold on to that notice. Yes. Right. And they may actually get paid this time. Oh, we'll see. They got 3 days to pull it off. This is one day. So on the veranda, what are you all doing? Now the veranda really starts to come alive at night. This is the nightclub, the party section of Goblonia. So there are middle-class goblins that have dressed up, and they're going to restaurants, going to raves. Nobody is going to the opera tonight. That's not a thing that's happening. They learned their lesson on that. But
what about all the macaroni?
Yes, your opera contact is passing out bowls of macaroni to anyone that wants them.
It's going to be amazing.
So, what are you all doing? What are you on the veranda? Are you mingling? Are you blending in? Are you taking up positions to you're putting on your gloves? I see that.
I'm going to science.
You're going to science.
I call forth a horde of rats.
All right. So you're going to have to test to call forth this horde of rats. I'm going to say this is probably figure, because you're using your invention and knowing just what to play and how long to play it and where to play it to summon forth the rats.
Rats
Yes.
love that.
Rats love that. So with your figure, is this a mad science-y thing to do?
To command a horde of rats to lead us to the cheese, it feels pretty mad science-y.
I'm going to give it to you, and then plus your +2 bonus for your egghead. So you get 5 cards to draw.
Woohoo!
There is some slight danger in here that the rats will go out of your control and just start rampaging, little rampage through the city. It looks like you got to beat a 6.
Well, I have a pair of 9s because I pulled a joker.
All right. Zelani just made it harder. And if we were playing Jin, a 5, 6, 7 wouldn't be any good because they're the wrong suits. But yep. So against a 7, you got a pair of 9s. You got it. Rats start crawling out of the walls and from under the street and from behind the garbage cans, and one comes out of a goblin's blouse right through the cleavage and just hops down and yeah, they were saving that one for later. But in a few moments' time, you have a horde of rats just swaying there to your music.
I command them to lead us to the cheese.
All right. Well, let's see if anybody else is doing stuff before you.
Well, yes, I will be. Heads up, everyone.
Yes. Yeah. So, Bigor and Voss, is there anything you want to do right now as he's summoning rats? Yes, ma'am.
I would like to use my notoriety to schmooze and hopefully have people talk to me without me having to make them talk to me.
Okay. So, what kind of schmoozing are you do?
I don't know. She just wants to make friends. See if anybody has any ex-husbands they want to kill. Anybody they want bills collected from. You know, gather up my kind of repertoire in this area to see if we can get some more work and, work my way on up.
Sure. Just trying to see who you can meet. So that's a Weedle test, which you have 1 rank in. You're getting a bonus for your notoriety.
Okay.
This is not inherently dangerous. However, it's a 10. So,
okay. And
before, because you haven't played in a while, before you draw your cards, you are allowed to choose to fail first and get a squib. But once you draw cards, you're locked into the test. Did you seriously just make that harder on a 10? All right.
Wait, what?
10 and a 5.
A 10 and a 5?
Yeah, I mean, the 10's what's important.
I know. Okay. Dear Gouda. Dear baby Jesus. 1, 2. Okay.
Are you serious? A 10 and a 9.
Oh shit.
All right. Well, that beats it. So, yeah, I mean, you're schmoozing among the middle-class goblins out here having a good time. And you do hear, like there is an undercurrent of, I hope we don't see this cheese monster. That I hope that we're not the ones attacked tonight. But we're still going out. We're still partying. We're not wearing our masks. We're living the life. And I just a little bit of concern. Like, if it's my time to get grabbed by a cheese monster, it's my time to get grabbed by a cheese monster. So, yeah, you're making some friends up there. I will say that will give you, if you need to generally give the crowd a command, you'll get a +1 to that attempt, because you've been out there schmoozing and meeting people. And if you were to suddenly stand up on a table and say, "Holy crap, everybody run," they might listen to you. All right. So, Bigor.
Yes. Well, I am setting up a table in the veranda, and I have some headshots and a Sharpie marker, and I'm just going to await my public ready to sign autographs should they show up.
Okay. All right. So, Bigor's there to sign autographs. Voss has been mingling through the crowd. Dr. Pibb has summoned these rats around him. We're at the halfway point. I've got a short 2-minute commercial that I'm supposed to play for Nat 21. We're going to play that now, and when we come back, we're going to see what happens. All right. We'll be right back with you.
You've got no map for showing which direction you are going.
But why start on a journey if you know where it will end?
And once you recognize,
To anticipate surprise, you'll relish every twist and turn that lies around the bend. Wriggly-dum-de-tura-terio-dee-da-dee-da-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before? Adventures waiting further down the road. It's waiting for you further down the road.
Has got its demons. There are many reasons why you'd find it harder to be brave than be afraid.
But every life could use some danger. Every friend was once a stranger. Ships are safe in harbor, but that's not why ships are made.
Wriggly-dum-de-tura-terio-dee-da-dee. A fwit-da-dee-da-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before? Adventures waiting further down the road. It's waiting for you further down the road. Adventures waiting further down the road.
Let's go! Lie, da, 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 da. Lie, da, 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 da. Lie, da, 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 da. La, da, 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 da. La, da, 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 da.
All right, and we are back with part 2 of tonight's adventure, The Goblins for Cheeses. That's what this has become. So, just a quick recap. Cheese monsters are terrorizing the city, and we have fondue forks to fight them with. We have a flamethrower. Dr. Pibb has created a scientific flute that summons and commands rats and has summoned a horde of rats. Bigor has set in motion this idea that everybody on the veranda is getting free macaroni and cheese tonight. No, it's not free. They're paying for it to help rebuild the opera house that got destroyed. Nobody's fault.
Autographs are free.
And signing autographs after the opera. So, Dr. Pibb, you have your army of rats. What are you doing with them?
I would like to command my little minions to lead us to the cheese. As rats, they have excellent senses of smell and have probably heard some ratty rumors about the cheese already.
Absolutely. So we are going to have to test again. Again, I think you are looking at... This is not going to be figure. This is going to be Weedle, because you are commanding the rats, convincing them to do this. But you do get the 1 from Mad Scientist, and you do get the 2 from Egghead. So you're looking at 4 cards. You have to beat an ace. So anything that you draw...
All right. Well, I am definitely not choosing to fail. Oh, and you know what? One of the 4 cards I drew was a king. But fortunately, it's the 4 best, which means I have another pair of 9s.
Another pair of 9s. All right. I don't think we lost Bigor. Now, I can't
Can you
see
hear me?
Bigor. Oh, we can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I can see me and it looks fine, but I'm looking. Oh no, I'm back now on the Twitch. Who knows?
Yeah, if you look at the Twitch. Yep. The rats turn and start heading into the shadows.
Ooh.
Wait, somebody's given me an item? An aerosol can of sticky cold glue to prevent the cheese from exploding and melting.
Oh, well. Okay, Sally.
Wait. Prevent exploding? I don't... Why would someone do that?
I am a firm believer of loopholes, so I will find one around it.
There you go. All right, so they are heading into... I'm going to put this map back up. So here you are on the veranda, and they are leading you into the dark part of Goblonia, the shadows, which is the tops is built on top of that section right there. So that's the sort of underground. It's not sewers because it's on the second level of the city, but that's sort of the underground, creepy, dark place in Goblonia.
I don't want to go there, but that's where they are.
That's where they're leading you. Yes.
I did command the rats, so I yell out to my teammates, "I've got a lead!" And I toot little encouraging things to the rats, like, "You're doing a good job. Keep it up. I'm proud of you." And so forth.
All right. All right. Is everybody else following along with Dr. Pibb into the dark shadows of Goblonia.
Yes. Well, no, I'm staying with my autographs.
You're staying with your autographs.
I'm going.
All right. So, you head into the shadows, following the rats. It's dark in here. Does anyone have the dark vision ability or some way to make light?
I have matches.
Matches? Okay.
I have a flamethrower
That has
That
a
makes
candle on
light.
the end of it.
that has a candle on the end of it.
So you could
What
light
could
the
go
candle
wrong?
for your light,
Yes.
and then the flamethrower is ready to go.
Yes. That.
All right. Sally, it's not leeches this time. It's something else. So, walking through the shadows, which is essentially a maze of alleyways and crumbling buildings that are built up on top of, and the street's been built up above you. So, you're going into it feels like going underground, even though you're up several stories into the city. You come across a disheveled goblin, just with his arms around his knees, weeping and muttering about, "Don't let the cheese eat me." So just in there in the shadows, in the middle of your path, there's this goblin rocking back and forth. It seems vaguely familiar, but you're not entirely sure why.
If it's Flout, I'm officially sick of this guy.
Yeah, upon closer look, it is Phineas Flout that is just sitting there rocking back and forth, muttering about the horrible cheese. He probably even has a cheese pun, but I don't. So there you go.
Well, I guess we shouldn't just leave him here. I'll be like, "Hey, buddy. Hey, we're hunting little cheese monsters. You wanna come with us? We'll bring you to the surface afterwards. Maybe."
He looks up and his eyes get wide as they recognize you. And he screams, "No, it's you! You who ruined my life!" And then he takes out an aerosol can and sprays something in your eyes.
Oh.
You can attempt to resist this, Dr. Pibb.
I would. Oh no, that's Scram. I'm terrible at that.
Oh man. Sticky cold
So
glue in
you
your eyes. That means
Right,
they're
you don't
never
have
gonna
to use
explode in
Scram
your mouth.
to resist it. You're decent at bash, so you could just try to knock the can out of his hands as he goes to spray you.
I would. Yes, I think I will knock the can out of his hand or knock him on his can. But there's
There
a
you go.
can that's going to get knocked.
All right, so that's your bash. I don't think you have anything else that can help you here. So, 2 cards, you got to beat a 4 and a 3.
You sure it's not a mad scientist thing to grapple with the homeless vagrant that's attacked you because you've ruined his life in the sewers?
No.
Oh, that's fair. What is it?
A 4. You got to beat a 4.
Oh, I got a 10.
And with a 10, you do it. Man, you all are winning every test tonight. So, yeah, you knock the can out of his hands. It goes clattering down the tunnel. He jumps up, cackles at you, like he has clearly lost his mind, and chases after the can into the darkness, muttering, "All hail Jesus."
Well, he's found religion. He's got that going for him. I think he's gonna be all right.
Mr. Dr. Pibb, who is that?
Oh, that's just an old friend of ours. We worked for him briefly.
Yeah, you did.
We gave him the night of his life. He wasn't very grateful though. And then,
do I need to stab him?
You might.
Okay.
You might. Can I tell what's in my eyes? What's been sprayed on me?
So it wasn't sprayed on you because you knocked it out of his. It smells like glue.
No.
Like the scent is glue.
That's a terrible smell. Fortunately,
right, spray glue.
I recently found a bottle of Eau de Splinter, which makes you smell apparently like a bunch of like 20 rats that have had their tails tied together. Which I imagine would just smell like 20 rats and probably a lot of rat urine. It doesn't seem like a great smell, but it's better than glue. So I spritz a little cloud and walk through.
What?
That's how you're supposed to put perfume on. Robert, if you're not doing that, you're putting on too much perfume.
I'm just wondering who gave you an Ode to Splinter?
Oh, someone gave that to him in the chat. In fact, it was
I see it now.
Stepdaughter.
Yes. A perfume that makes you smell like a rat king. Dracula's stepdaughter may have been reading the rules. Actually, I just wrote about the denizens of the shadows and the basement today, and rat kings are one thing you can find in the shadows of Goblonia. So, yeah, you smell like a rat king.
That will probably help me blend in.
Yeah, I mean, and it might make the rats even more susceptible to seeing you as their leader. So they are moving forward into the shadows and going pretty clearly in a direction. I mean, twisting and turning through alleyways and over windows and to old ruined buildings and all of that. But yeah, you're going to continue to follow them?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Shoshi, you're just out there signing autographs still, right?
Yes. To my adoring fans, should there be any?
There are a few, yes, that are signing autographs. And one in line, 3 goblins back, that gets to you, and then signs their own autograph and hands it to you as if you were waiting for that.
The shade.
That's a power move.
Thank you.
Power move.
Yes. And actually, he's a juggler. That's he signs a picture of himself juggling.
Makes sense.
Yes, it's
jugglers.
The jugglers. It's the great Beano.
I'm glad there are none of those on this channel.
Right. I know. Just
everyone on this
crumble.
channel has no physical skills whatsoever.
None.
None.
No one.
Nope.
All right. So behind him in line is a small, when we say small, a goblin-sized cheese monster that right
Waiting
after he
line?
passes off. What?
Waiting
in your line? Yes.
For an autograph
Yes,
from
waiting in
me?
line.
Oh.
No. In fact, the cheese monster roars and grabs Garbanzo by the chest and starts dragging him into the shadows.
Oh no.
Well,
Doesn't seem serious.
Bye. Who's
There
next?
you go. All right. Back to Dr. Pibb and Was.
Yes, keep going, my minions.
When do I get to
All
stab
right.
somebody?
Not
You're gonna get to stab
not you.
somebody right now. Although, Cubby, I realize we have forgotten to check. It is the Great Garbanzo. That's the juggler. Bino Garbanzo. We've forgotten to test to see if this little invention of yours explodes.
Oh yeah.
So draw the top 5 cards from your deck, please.
All right. If I choose to fail, will it fail to explode?
No, you cannot choose to fail on this. This is just if you have 2 face cards of the same thing, it explodes. So 2 queens, 2 jacks, 2 kings.
Oh no!
No.
Oh no!
Yep.
Are you serious?
That hurts a lot.
I mean, now the good news is
Oh, no.
that you have gotten those out of your deck
Oh.
at this point.
Harder.
Mhm, mhm.
Uh-oh.
So, and you do not, as far as I can remember, have to resolve those. You've just lost the use of this item. Let me double check. Nope, you do not have to resolve the effects of these face cards, but any kings that you would have drawn would have stayed on the board. You didn't draw any kings, so you're playing the music, and you hit a wrong note.
Oh boy.
All right, because
Oh no.
Yep. The rats stop, look back at you like, what the heck, man, and then scatter.
Oh!
And your flute does snap in half.
Oh no.
What? I was promised an explosion.
Hey, I hate to
And
say
then
it.
the 2 individual pieces explode.
Yes! Science!
Science.
Hate to say it, Dr.
Yes.
Pip, but your thing's a piece of.
Yep. You hear cackling that sort of echoes and bounces all around you. And then in the light of your single candle on the end of your flamethrower, 3 goblin-sized cheese monsters start shuffling out and towards you.
I pulled the trigger. No
All right,
questions
you
asked.
pull the trigger. You're going to barbecue some cheese monsters.
I am going to just pull it without hesitation.
Okay. This is a very direct assault, so that's probably bash.
Okay.
And
Have to
I
do it
believe
back.
I said you would get a +1 for the flamethrower.
Yes.
All right, so 3 cards. Is this inherently dangerous facing down cheese monsters? Yes, it is. There are multiples of them.
1, 2, 3.
So 2 crappy cards and a 10. Okay. A pair of 3s and a king.
Nope,
You
it's
can spend a squib to draw another card if you want to try and get rid of that king.
I will spend a squib.
Okay. Because you are using a goblin-made tool, that
Okay.
king would make that tool explode on you, which makes sense because it's full
a
of flammable
flamethrower.
oil.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. So everybody says, poop. So
You got rid of the king and you beat it. All right. So you flambe one of those cheese monsters, and it starts to get all. I mean, it's on fire. You know, like what happens when you set cheese on fire. It's the fat in it sizzles and pops and melts. So now you have 1 flaming cheese monster and 2 not flaming cheese monsters.
oh
and-
yeah.
And someone in the shadow, very familiar voice, is cackling. I think it's, well, I don't know. I think these were made out of real cheese, not fake cheese. Fake cheese doesn't sizzle and pop, and it just sort of slumps. So, Dr. Pibb, what are you doing?
I'm going to be honest. I was really counting on using that flute for basically everything.
Yep, and you don't have it.
So I'm going to panic and grab a vial from my pocket.
Okay.
And take the super weed.
Oh.
All right. Okay.
And now I'm going to eat. I'm going to go to eat one of the monsters.
Okay. This doesn't feel so bashy. But
oh, I'm digging in.
Okay, you're just grabbing him and chowing down.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'm not going to try to coax him over.
Are you going after the one that's on fire?
No.
No. Okay.
I
one that's
don't
not
want
on
to
fire.
burn the roof of my mouth. That would be
right, because that would absolutely happen. So the one that's not on fire, one of the ones that's not on fire, you're running up, you're downing the potion, running up, grabbing him, and trying to devour the cheese monster.
Yeah, I'm so hungry right now, man. I'm like.
All right. So 3 cards, because it's a combat, and there are multiples of them. You have to beat a 9.
All right.
You're looking at Bash plus Mad Scientist plus your potion, so 4 cards to beat my 3. Or you can choose to fail.
I like how things are stacked right now. And oh man, I get to not use this king, but that means I have a 10.
A 10. And yeah, you got him. So Dr. Pip runs up, grabs the cheese monster, starts devouring him. And you're just so freaking hungry that it's you're eating, you're going to have gas later. You're eating him way too fast. But yeah, we've got one flaming cheese monster, one cheese monster that now does not have a head, and a third cheese monster that has thus far been free to do whatever it wants. So there you go. You're going to pack your colon.
Oh.
Yeah, full of cheese.
What can I say?
What
It
cheese
ticked me
monster?
off. I guess you could say I'm lactose intolerant.
Oh God.
Yes. Yeah. The cheese monster that has not been engaged with either of you, Voss has a flamethrower. So he's not going to get close to that. Instead, he's going to come up behind Dr. Pibb and try to grab Dr. Pibb and drag him off of the one that he is devouring. So, Dr. Pibb, this is a resistance test. How are you avoiding being dragged off of this cheese monster?
I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go full ballast on him. I mean, I am holding and eating his equal in mass, and I've got my own mass, so I'm just gonna sit down.
Yeah, you're just gonna sit down. That sounds like figure thinking it through that you're going to use your own mast and ballast and yes. So figure. I give you both of them, mad scientist and the potion, because you're still eating this guy. So you have to beat a 9.
All right, and figure and mad scientist and so 4.
So 4 cards.
4 to beat a 9 is so the good news is I drew a king that I get to just get rid of. But the
you're
bad
not
news
beating a
is
9.
I'm not beating a 9.
You can spend a squib to draw one more card and see if that does it. We'll wait a moment to see if anybody from the stream decides to help you or make it worse. Although I think they're saying they don't have a lot of points left on this one. So if you want to spend a squib to draw, go ahead. And if somebody gives you an extra card, we'll just give you that squib back.
I think I'm gonna not spend the squib right now. I'm just gonna make it hard for him and keep eating his companion because oh my god,
keep eating his companion.
Oh, it's like I just didn't I had like a snack earlier, but I didn't eat like a whole lot, and I'm just so into this cheese monster right now.
Right. So since you failed the resistance, he's actually going to pull you off of the other cheese monster, and you do take damage. So what happens here that causes an injury to you?
What happens is that as soon as my little cheese morsel monster gets out, I'm just like, no. I'm so hungry. And my tummy hurts because I'm so hungry. I get a crummy tummy.
All right. Mark it on your sheet that you've taken a point of vim and vigor. Bigor, at this point, as Bino Garbanzo, the juggling goblin, is dragged off by a cheese monster, the other people, the other goblins around you that see this start freaking out.
And well, once I see this, I'm going to stand up and say, opera lovers of Goblonia, now is the time to act. Take your bowls of macaroni and seek out the cheese monsters. Now is your time. Let us devour them with gusto.
All right. So this sounds like Weedle. You're trying to convince the crowd to attack the cheese monsters and get cheese for their bowls, right?
And I'm going to use my extreme visage to help me with this. I'm going to have my tentacle arm, and it's going to be gesturing wildly to make sure everyone is paying attention to what I have to say.
Okay. So that's going to give you 2 cards.
Okay. And then I'm also going to use my magical cheese. Actually, yes, here's what I'm going to do. All right, I'm going to say that speech, but at the same time, I'm going to take my tentacle arm and I'm going to swipe out the tentacle arm as close to the cheese monster as I can get it, and then pull it back. But what I'm actually doing is just pulling a piece of cheese out of my cheese wallet. And then I will hold it up and say, see, there's nothing to fear. I easily grabbed cheese off the cheese monster. It's so delicious with this macaroni.
Okay.
So then I'm going to make an argument that it's actually finagle. Because I'm using physical.
I will allow finagle plus the 1 for your tentacle arm. Yes. So
I think that
that's 3 cards.
Yeah.
Before you draw, you have to beat a 10, and then an 8 is the next card.
Oh, you know what? I'm going to fail.
Okay.
I choose to fail.
All right. Take a squib for your failure. And the crowd, I mean, because that's kind of a lot for them to take in.
A lot.
Cheese monster eating people, that's an easy concept.
Mm-hmm.
Growing a tentacle arm, swiping a chunk off of it and saying everything's okay. They start to, somebody in the crowd yells out, "She's a cheese monster too! Look at her!" And there's about to be a full-on riot, and you are in the middle of it. Okay.
Dear. I wanted fame, but not like this.
Right. So, back to Dr. Pibb and Voss. You have a half of a cheese monster because it's been eaten, an on-fire half cheese monster because it's been set on fire and is melting, and a totally whole cheese monster that has wrapped its cheesy arms around Dr. Pibb, pulled him back, and is probably going to attempt to devour him. If that's what cheese monsters do. We're not entirely sure yet. Yes, Voss. What
I would like to do is stab the one with Dr. Pitt. Because, my ex-husband would have been smart, but she would have rigged it to sling it on. But she might hold it and just one hand stab, shank, shank. But I am going to use vicious attack.
Yes.
The stab, the one holding the good doctor.
All right. So
I gotta spend a squib.
Spend a squib. And you get to attack it twice.
Yes.
It's 2 separate tests.
Yes.
So this is definitely bash.
Okay.
I'm going to give you your professional bonus on this because it's torture. I mean,
it's
you
murdering.
are kind of.
I mean, yes.
Yeah. So you're looking at 3 cards.
Okay.
You on your first attack, you need to beat a 9.
Okay. Dear Lord, Jesus, I'm sorry. Okay. You said 3, 1,
3,
2, 3.
You got it with a 10.
Woo!
All right. So yeah, you're stabbing him, and then again, you have to beat an 8.
2. Oh, I'm hitting my bell like I'm cursing.
A pair of aces is actually, that's the lowest possible pair you can have, but it beats my single 8. So you still get that.
Yay!
So May, you get to decide or describe what happens here, but this cheese monster that you are stabbing has been eliminated. So
Okay. So, with all her cute pink fury, she's going to hold that thing so she can still stay. And she's going to come in with her silver dagger, thanks to Titania, because she comes with an assortment of knives, thanks Titania for the extra. And she's just going to hop on it and go repeatedly.
Yes. Yeah. So this was not a Swiss cheese monster, but now it is full of holes. And whatever scientific magic life force is animating these things, you have managed to sever that thread in this single cheese monster, and it just falls apart into a pile of cheese. Take
that, you piece of with your.
All right. Dr. Pibb is no longer held by a cheese monster. That one has crumbled. So, Dr. Pibb, what are you doing?
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. I can move now. Oh, that's awesome, because I am so hungry right now. I would like to keep eating the cheese monster.
Yep, the half cheese monster.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, it's a test to damage it. So,
do you ever see that Goya painting? It's like that.
All right. That's your bash. Oh, and I said you got a +1 from your hunger potion. So that's a total of 3 cards, 2 for your bash, 1 for the hunger potion. You have to beat a 4 and a 3.
I'm
a 10. That does
Woo.
it. So you managed to devour the second cheese monster. Yeah, just shoveling it in. And you have eaten that entire cheese monster. There is one cheese monster left that is on fire and melting. It is going to try and grab Voss with its flaming melty cheese arms and drag her back into the darkness. So Voss, what are you doing to try and avoid this?
I would like to go with Old Faithful and stab.
Okay, so you're kind of like,
But with a different way. I would like to use unnatural weaponry and stab.
so you get your claws out,
Yep.
and are keeping it at bay with your claws.
Yeah.
Is that what you? Okay. Spend a squib.
That
Summon claws.
Blew my wand. Okay.
I would say this is a pretty direct thing. It's a threat. I think this is probably still bash +1 for your claws. So
Okay.
that's 3 cards. You have to beat an 8.
Oh
That doesn't do it. A 6, a 7, and a 3.
no. Okay.
You can spend a squib to draw
I'm out.
another
I
card.
blew my wad.
You're-
It's fine.
You're
failed.
out. All right. So yes. You've got these claws out, and the cheese monster is not phased by those at all. You do take a point of damage. What happens here that causes damage to you? Remember, damage can be mental, physical, or emotional.
She's emotional because you burned her hair that she just got done.
Oh.
Right.
Mab just lets you have a redraw.
Oh, snap.
So pick one of
Thanks,
those
Mab.
cards that you're discarding.
Okay, let me pick up those again. Because hold on. 1, 2, nope, 3. Okay, I got them back. Okay.
All right. So you choose one to throw away and then draw a card to replace it.
Okay, I pulled 1. I pulled an 8. I'm
And
gonna get.
You probably would have
rid of-
thrown away the lowest card. You're 3. Yep.
Or this way. There we go. I'm transposed.
I know. So you've got an 8. So that gets rid of this 8.
Aha, 6, 7,
the
8.
And a 7 beats a 5. Nope. You got it.
Woo!
You do not take damage. You managed to fend it off with your claws. Are they Wolverine claws, or are they just like your fingernails get long and sharp?
When like there's a banshee and she just got her nails done and she's mad and they're stiletto nails, so she's
Okay, I'm with you. All right, Mab saved your butt there.
Thanks,
Bigor. Bigor, you are in the middle of a crowd that now thinks you're a cheese monster, and
Not so good for Bigor.
not so good for Bigor. What are
Looks
what
like
are you
it's
doing?
time to turn into a ring of keys.
I'm trying so hard not to laugh. But I am.
They can't get
All
me
right.
if I'm a ring of keys.
They can't get you if you're a ring of keys. That is true. So you have to spend a squib.
Mm-hmm.
And
I have one
yeah,
left now.
you become a ring of keys.
Mm-hmm.
Just lying there on the table with
Yeah.
your autograph.
Mm-hmm. Right next
All right.
to my headshots.
Exactly. Yeah, like I mean, clearly you're a cheese monster because you just melted into thin air.
I did.
Yes. So they can't. There's nothing they can do to you. You're a ring of keys. So back to Voss and Dr. Pibb. You have 1/2 of a cheese monster that's on fire. What are you going to do?
Oh my god, it smells so good.
Oh my god, eat it!
It smells so good. But it's like fondue. I need like toast or something.
I was giving that. Who cares about that? Stab giant fondue fork that my ex-husband gave me.
I try to twirl up as much melty cheese in the. No, that sounds too much like a finagle. That's not something I can do.
Okay. Yep. Finagle is not something you're great at.
I can try and finagle and feed it to you.
Okay. All right. That's doable. So. All right. You're going to try and finagle this cheese monster onto your fondue fork so that Dr. Pibb can take a flaming bite.
Yes.
And I'm going to bash that flaming bite with my breath. Like.
All right. Well, teamwork only works in this game for exploiting other people's failure.
We're
She hasn't failed
them.
yet.
We're exploiting
yes.
the cheese monster.
So your finagle is 1.
Yeah, I'll give it a shot.
All right, 1 card. You have to beat a 9 and a 7.
Dang. Okay. That was enough.
That does not do it.
Oh well. I tried.
All right.
My deck's getting low.
So even at half of a cheese monster, it's still like 2 feet tall. So trying to scoop up this creature on a fondue fork, it just, you're not getting the balance is off. The fork can't hold the entire cheese monster. So Dr. Pibb, she's trying to stab him and get him up. What are you doing?
Yeah. What am I doing, man?
Oh.
You ask like really good questions.
Mr.
No.
Dr. Pibb is getting more philosophical the longer he's on this food.
It's not. It's the potion has a few. Wait, no, I know what I do. What I do is I grab into my science satchel and I grab a scientist's most important utensil, which is dynamite. And I half stick the dynamite into it. Since it's on fire, that should light the dynamite for me.
All right. That is absolutely a figure test. And that's Mad Scientist. I'll give you Mad Scientist since you're about to create an explosion. So 3 cards. You are shoving it in a flaming cheese monster. So you have to beat, looks like an 8.
Half in, so it lights on fire and explodes. That's what makes it science. I have an 8 and an ace. And
an ace and a queen. So that's not winning because the 8s are taken care of. But then we're comparing an ace to a 6,
which is not good.
Which is not great. Do you want to spend a squib to draw another card?
I would like to spend a squib because an explosion is on the line, and that's important. And it also gets rid of that queen.
Yep. Did you draw the other queen that was left in your deck?
No.
You got it, actually. That'll do it. Because the 8 and the 6 go away. That leaves me with 0 cards, and you beat it with an ace.
Which is literally the narrowest margin that I could have succeeded. That's literally the narrowest margin in the game.
Yep. So stick of dynamite goes in, and I'm assuming you step back, cover your ears, maybe.
I feel like it's just ingrained now. Like
Right.
it's like a dancer. It's a move I've done so many times. The jump back, cover my ears.
Yes. And that cheese monster, it's he's on fire. So it lights the fuse of the dynamite. Boom. And cheese goes everywhere. Flaming hot cheese.
What? Did someone
All
say
over.
flaming hot cheese? I'm ready.
All over everyone.
Grab your
and
bowls.
everything.
People of
Yes, but that's
Goblonia.
deeper in the shadows. You're not there, Bigor.
No.
But you do hear the explosion. Like it echoes out from the
Sorry, my ears fell off. It happens sometimes when you shapeshift.
Third at
it's a
best.
cheese cano. Yeah. I'm with you. So you are a thing of keys
Mhm.
laying on the table.
Mhm.
What are you doing?
Well, as soon as I'm not going to stay that way for very long.
Yeah, and actually, Reverend Tommy gave a great suggestion that one of the panicking goblins grabs that ring of keys and starts to run. He doesn't really know where he's running, but he says, "Follow me. We'll get the pitchforks and the torches." So you're jangling along in the fist of this goblin who's taken it upon himself now to direct the riot.
Well, I think I'll just go along for the ride.
Well, there you go, right? Pitchforks and torches.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
that's just like a very large fondue fork and a very inefficient flamethrower. So they'll get there eventually.
Right. They might actually be able to melt all these cheeses. So that's what we've got. Back to Voss and Dr. Pibb. You have eliminated the 3 cheese monsters. Somewhere deeper into the shadows, you hear Phineas Flout's cackle.
Whoa.
Where is he? Where is the cackling? I'm gonna stab him.
Are you going to run off into the darkness and try to find him?
What darkness? I'm a
Like
flamethrower with
everywhere,
a
man.
lamp. I mean, a candle. A candle.
You've got a candle. Yeah. All right. We are actually going to test. You don't have to test to notice things in Goblonia.
Okay.
That's just a given. If something's happening, you can notice it. But you're going to have to try and sort of echolocate here and see if you can figure out where the cackling is actually coming from.
Okay.
So that's going to be a figure test.
Can I use teamwork?
Um,
By saying, good,
We
Mr.
can't
Dr.
teamwork,
Pibb,
but
can
like
can I say, hey, where's your friend? I need to stab.
I can like zero in on it.
Because I've been asking him to stab this dude since we got down here.
I start like really listening.
I'm having flashback to college with some of my classmates.
Yep. All right. So Voss, you don't have anything in figure. So you can test still. You got to beat a 7. And the way you test, if you have nothing at all to draw, you draw 2 cards and only use the lowest one. So you could also just choose to fail here, which means you're not going to find Phineas. You're not going to be able to track him down. And you get a squib for it.
I'm going to fail. I'm not even going to try and
Okay.
just, I'm failing.
All right. So yeah, you don't really know. You head off in one direction and run straight into a wall.
Ow!
It doesn't hurt, but it's like, okay, he's clearly not that way.
He
The voice
doesn't know
just
that
echoed.
it doesn't hurt. Shh, he doesn't know it doesn't hurt.
So it doesn't cause damage to your character sheet.
Yes. Where
so
are you little piece of, so I can, in the,
Dr. Pip?
Like, how's the wall? Like, is the wall okay? Because, like, we didn't come down here to harm walls.
Dr. Pip, I'm sure the wall's okay. Can you find this door so I can stab?
Yeah, I start really listening again.
Yes.
Oh, we're gonna be
So,
here all day. We're gonna be here all day.
Bigor,
Can I pinpoint where he is using figure?
you want to try and you want to try
Yeah.
and figure and see if you can track him down?
I'm like really into listening for him. Like
Okay.
I'm into it.
So that's 2 cards for your figure. You got to beat a 3.
I'm feeling pretty good about that.
A jack and a 7.
I could be feeling better about that, but it seems like I'm gonna be feeling pretty bad about that.
Yeah. So
Because
you can, with your intense listening, sort of pinpoint, oh, he's down that tunnel. All right. So you know the direction where he's coming from. But you also took an injury there. So
what happened was I immediately said, he's down that tunnel. I pointed to his location. I said how far away he was, and then I ran headfirst into that same wall. It's not the direction I pointed, but I just did it.
You're right, because
I needed to know
that was not a secret illusionary wall.
I needed to know. Yeah.
All right. So you do know where Phineas Flout is in these tunnels. You have pinpointed his direction. Bigor, a ring of keys, goblins that are arming themselves with pitchforks, and yes, there's absolutely a pitchfork and torches store right off the veranda in the Widow's Walk, which is the scary market of Goblonia. So yeah, you're hanging out as a ring of keys with this guy at the pitchforks and torches store.
Random goblin.
Goblin.
Well.
And clearly you as keys do not manage to unlock the shop that sells pitchforks and torches. So they
only unlock
actually
one door.
Only which door is that?
It's the door to Dr. Mr. Pepper, who I used to be an assistant for, and he locked himself out frequently enough that he test subject me until I turned into a ring of keys that opened his doors. He has several.
Absolutely.
There's several keys in the ring of keys because he has several locks.
Yes. Well, the goblin that was carrying you, once you don't unlock the door, he rears back and hurls you through the glass window.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So now you are a ring of keys inside the store that sells pitchforks and torches.
Well, I'm going to transform back.
And you transform back. That's where we're going to end the stream for tonight, or we're going to end the adventure for tonight. The stream's not quite done. Who won our vote to take us out of here, Reverend Tommy? Let us know who won the vote. Gets to do the outro of the show. And thank you all for watching. Thank you. Voss is tonight's winner. Thank you to anyone that followed. Thank you to Ick the Troll King for your subscription early in the show. And thank you, everybody. Like I said, if you want to check out Goblonia, the free quick and dirty edition, the Kickstarter is done. We're working on the book. Actually, today I did the last pass through of all the information that has already been written, wrote up a little bit more, and I've got one more section. I have to write an adventure that I've already run at convention, so that will be going in the book. Art is moving forward. The new art, the new twists and adventures that we unlocked in the Kickstarter are coming along great. I've seen everyone's concept pitch, and I've seen the first draft from one of the authors there. So it's moving forward. We're going to keep doing Goblonia on Wednesday nights here at Nat 21 Adventures. Come back next week to see what sort of cheesy goodness our crew can get up to. So everybody wave goodbye. I'm going to give Was the full screen to take us out. Say whatever you want, Was. Thank you, Cubby and Shoshana Ruth Green for joining us tonight. I'm out of here, and
oh my god! Thank you guys. I'm glad to be back. I'm here to stab, and I'm gonna find that guy and stab him in his freaking face. Oh wait, I did this wrong. In his face. Thanks for coming. Thanks for watching. Come back and see us next week to see what we're doing. And guess what? I'm gonna stab that guy. Bye.